Preface. Welcome to my first offering. I wrote this book to share some valuable financial lessons I learned from my personal experience of poor financial management. I strongly believe that it is highly possible for someone to rise from the dungeon of debt and financial mismanagement to a lifestyle filled with true financial wisdom, freedom, and security. Allow me to challenge your belief by suggesting that you do not need money to reach your financial freedom. All you need is wisdom. Wisdom will help you generate more money and fulfill your goals. With wisdom, you can use the little you have to build an empire. As wonderful as that may sound, financial freedom is a journey, and sometimes the consequences of our past money mistakes often have a way of turning that journey into a very long and steep one. It is only people who never give up who often make it through that long and steep journey of financial freedom. Even though the journey may be long and steep, it is possible to make it through. A question that probably comes to your mind right now is, how do I make it through? Well, your situation may seem hopeless to you, but I can assure you that you can make it through. All you need to do is to forgive yourself for the past money mistakes you have made and implement the lessons that each chapter from this book teaches. All the chapters in this book speak about the lessons I learned from the money mistakes I made. The chapters are therefore labeled as mistakes, which means that chapter 1 is referred to as the first mistake, and the second chapter is referred to as the second mistake, and so on. In the first mistake, you will learn about how to get rid of a poverty mentality and adopt a new way of thinking that will help you generate wealth. In the second mistake, you will learn about having a money management system. The third mistake is meant to provide you with basic information of what debt is and what my view is on good debt and bad debt. In the fourth mistake, you will learn about what to look out for when buying an investment property. In the fifth mistake, you will learn about the pros and cons of buying a brand new car versus a second-hand one. The sixth mistake will provide you with a winning debt elimination plan. In the seventh mistake, you will learn about having a practical savings plan. The eighth mistake will provide you with the basics of investing. In the ninth mistake, you will learn more information about how insurance works and what are the disadvantages of cancelling your insurance policy. Finally, the 10th mistake will help you develop a wealth accumulation plan. First mistake, having a poverty mentality. Proverbs 23 verse 7, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." Growing up poor, I had always ascribed my poverty to lack of resources, skills, and money, up until I acquired some skills in the form of a university qualification, got a bit of money and resources, but was still stricken by poverty. It was when I learned that poverty is a mindset that I finally got my breakthrough. You can give a poor person a lot of money, but eventually he or she will squander it all, because poverty is not lack of money, but a way of thinking. We become what we think about most of the time because our thoughts are very powerful. What we frequently think about tends to manifest in our daily actions and form our habits. It is our habits that determine whether we attract success or failure in our lives. Here are 5 major habits that I possessed which attracted poverty in my life. Number 1, the habit of wasting time. Time is the most valuable gift that humanity has ever received, and it is more important than money because you can always regain money lost, but not time lost. The first mistake I made was to look at time in hours and therefore procrastinate all that needed to be done because I thought I had plenty of time. My breakthrough came after I looked at time in minutes and realized that I only had 1,440 minutes per day, and how I spend every minute of it matters. One of the major time-wasting habits I like to engage in was spending a lot of time watching television. Statistics South Africa once conducted a survey on time use, and it revealed that in South Africa, most people spend approximately 5 hours watching television. That is about 300 minutes that could have been put to good use. Please hear me well. I'm not insinuating that watching television is entirely a bad thing to do, but that you do not need to spend many hours of your valuable time doing something that does not add any value to your life. Habit number 2, associating myself with mediocre people. Pastor Cecil Hamero, my spiritual father, once said that whoever you associate with will determine where you end up in life. This saying is true, and so is the one that says that you are the average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. The people we associate with influence the way we think and do things. I can attribute my attaining this bad habit from the way I have been raised. Growing up, we were not allowed to ask a lot of questions or question anything an adult instructs us to do. This had a huge impact on my self-esteem and ability to network. As a result of this, I would always be comfortable in circles where I thought I was the smartest and feared to associate myself with successful people. T.D. Jakes, one of America's renowned pastors, is of the view that if you are the smartest person in your circle, you definitely need a new circle. This is true because you can never grow where you are not challenged and stretched to grow. Whom we associate with matters a lot. Pastor Cecil Hamero once told me of a conversation he engaged in with his millionaire friend, which left him really challenged. He was saying to his friend that he would really be ready to retire if he would get to a point where he earns 50,000 rands per month. And the friend asked him, why not 100,000 rands per month? This question stuck with him since then. As Pastor Colin Lafoy, one of the best South African church leaders, puts it, becoming a big fish in a small pond does not work at our advantage. It is important to stretch ourselves by associating ourselves with bigger people than us. Habit number 3, being stingy and greedy. This is one habit that ensured no growth in my finances and kept me poor. Every time I was in a position to offer help to someone in need or give out some money at church, I would choose not to do so for fear that what God has blessed me with will vanish. This implied that God, who owns the whole universe, does not have the ability or enough resources to give me more. The sad truth is that within a week, all that I was keeping would vanish. This is because a giving hand is more blessed than a receiving one. I am not against saving some money, but what I'm against is being stingy with money. God blesses us with money or anything else so that we can be a blessing to others. Being stingy with money serves us no good, so teach yourself to be generous with the little you have, and God will bless you with more. Habit number 4, habit of entitlement. If you are like me when I was poor, and you feel that the government, your parents, your employer, or life in general owes you something, please change that mentality. It will make you stagnant. If there's one thing I could blame the South African government for, it would be cultivating a culture of entitlement and dependency. People feel like they're entitled to free houses, social grants, jobs, and so on. The moment you understand that no one owes you anything in life is the moment you will break out of the poverty mentality. Possessing this habit also meant that I would blame someone for any misfortune that happened to me. I really liked blaming the devil or an environment I grew up in, even if I was responsible for all that happened to me. Life was never designed to shower you with what you say you are entitled to, but what you actually deserve and prepare for. So instead of folding arms and waiting for someone else to shower you with what you think you are entitled to, wake up and create the kind of lifestyle you want. Habit number 5, sleeping too much. Research by National Sleep Foundation revealed that humans spend about 1/3 of their lives sleeping. Even though sleep is good for our bodies, too much of it can cause some health risks such as back pain, obesity, anxiety, depression, among many others. In adulthood, anything more than 7 to 9 hours is too much sleep. I used to spend more than 8 hours per day sleeping, and instead of waking up revived and ready for the day, I would wake up more tired. Even though sleeping and resting are more important for your body, please do not sleep your way into poverty. Solomon in the book of Proverbs 20 verse 13 puts it nicely. He says that if you love sleep, you will end up in poverty. Keep your eyes open and there will be plenty to eat. I noticed a great improvement in my life when I decided to start my day at 3 a.m. every day, pray, exercise, and start working on my task for that day. As difficult as this was in the beginning, it became more feasible when I decided to go to bed earlier. Sleeping too much is a habit of the poor, and if you want to break out of poverty, start your day earlier than you usually do. It will be challenging at first, but your mind will get used to it. Habit number 6, poor planning and trying to do things the easy way. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to map out a plan for your life. I never had a plan for my life. As a result, I would follow whatever direction life would lead me to. The major result of that was that I ended up poor. The book of Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5 says that good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. If you do not have a plan but take life as it comes, you will end up poor. Pastor Cecil Hamero puts it nicely when he says that if it does not work on paper, it'll never work. Get yourself into a habit of having a daily plan, a weekly plan, monthly plan, a life plan, and then you will attract success in your life. Habit number 7, spending my money and saving what is left. This is one habit that has kept the so-called middle class poor. Every time I received an income, I would first pay all my monthly expenses and then try to save what is left. In most cases, the money would not even be enough to cover all those expenses, let alone having a surplus to save. My breakthrough came when I learned that wealthy people invest their income and then spend what is left. This is a matter of priority because what you prioritize, you tend to focus on, and what you focus on, you attract. So if you prioritize your liabilities more than assets, then you will attract more liabilities, and the reverse is also true. Final comments. Proverbs 23 verse 7 says, "As he thinks in his heart, so is he." This tells us that we become what we think about most of the time. This is because our dominating thoughts have a way of influencing our daily habits. You are where you are in life now because of your past habits. This means that if you do not like where you are in life right now, change your thinking and habits. Poverty is a mindset, and so is wealth.